So today we're going to be taking a look at this ultra fast, realistic elevator that can go up to the crazy fast speeds of 7 blocks per second. 7! Plus it's 100% reliable, so there's no glitches, there's nothing that's ever going to break in the future. As long as all the timings don't change, this thing's going to work. And with these immense speeds, it means you can travel at the very bottom of the world to the very top in less than 45 seconds. That's 256 blocks cleared in less than 45 seconds. Now, for all of you who are clumsy, it does have a call function, meaning that if you somehow manage to send the elevator off without you, or someone else called it, you can just call it back down and it'll come back to your floor pretty much instantly, as of course, this thing is rapid. Anyways, I suppose we just take a look at this thing. Hello everyone, my name's Tomco, welcome back to another redstone video for the Bedrock Edition of Minecraft. Yes, this is in Bedrock. So like I said, today's something pretty special, as I'm doing a tutorial for this crazy fast, pretty realistic elevator. Okay, so I have 2 elevators in front of me, and if I look up, yeah, I have one on the left which is pretty tall, you know, it's nothing, it's no skyscraper. Then one on the right which has just gone full ham, just made it all the way up to the sky limit. Basically you can just walk in, as you can see, it does use terracotta, so you are limited to terracotta and non-sticky blocks all around the door. You can just click the button and off we go. As you can see, it's pretty much instant setting off, and once you do set off, here you go up. So cool. If you look in the top, you can actually see the coordinate going up. And we're almost at the top already. This thing is so quick. So we can get to the top, we can open the door, so we can travel all those blocks in no time whatsoever. And of course, you can just go all the way back down as well. There's nothing stopping you. Once again, it's pretty much instant setting off, and you can just go all the way back down. And there we go. Now let's say you're pretty clumsy, you manage to get yourself locked up at the top floor. Well, lucky for you, there is a call function where you can call the elevators from down there all the way up to the top. So if I just go ahead and click this button, eventually that elevator will make its way all the way up, and there we go. As you can see, the elevator does flash a little bit. That's just a visual glitch. Hopefully, I'm hoping that'll be fixed soon. Honestly, it ruins it. It makes it look so much worse. But yeah, as you can see, it is already at the top. This thing is so fast. And there we go, it's at the top. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know you want to see me going into this thing, so why not? So we can just go into it, we can click the button, and once again, we fly all the way to the top. Now, you can even look at the elevator all the way over there. As you can see, that one is tiny. Tiny little midget compared to the side of this one. Now once again, you can just look at the top, see the thing going up, at how fast it actually is, and you not get a scale of that just from the coordinates. In fact, if you just look on the side, you can sort of see how fast it's going. You know, if I did something like this, you can see how fast that block is glitching along down there, and we can see that little flying machine disappear off into a cloud of fog. We're almost there now. We're almost at the very top. That's it. Why 200 blocks? So already gone 200 blocks, and we are still climbing, and there we go. That is the platform. We are almost there, and there we go. So that is why, because 248. Now I cannot go any higher. Okay, so taking a look at the redstone, as you can see, it's not actually that big. I tried to make this thing as compact and as symmetrical going up as I possibly can. Anyway, that's enough of this showcase. Let's just crack on with this tutorial. So I'm not going to be doing an exact item list, as to be honest, there's no point, as everyone's going to have different heights and different number of floors and whatever. You're not just going to need one of every one, but this is all the items that you need. So you just get a handful of stacks of each one of these. That's if you're in survival, of course. If you're in creative, then you don't need to bother. And to get started, you are going to need a 7x9 area to be able to fit this thing in, and that gold block down there, you should go ahead and mark that. That's just going to be a bit easier for you to copy mine and use mine as a reference if you have a block. Okay, so to start off, you want to find the gold block right there. What you want to do is you want to come one block just in front of it like so. You want to stack her up 2 blocks. I want to place a block of redstone on top of those 2 blocks. You don't destroy these 2 ones underneath it like so. So it's just a floating redstone block. Then you want to put a honey block just on top of that. Make sure it is honey. It does have to be honey. And then you can put 3 terracotta blocks on top of that. Another honey block. And then another block of redstone on top of that. So it looks like something like this. You don't want to put your floor and ceiling block just like so. So that is actually the elevator capsule done. Okay, so now you want to be able to come to the back like so, and you want to place in 2 slime blocks to the left of this bottom honey block like so. So you can go ahead and place in 2 slime blocks there. You don't want to place in 2 slime blocks to the right of the middle over here, and then another 2 slime blocks to the left of this turning block, just like so. So you end up with something that looks like that. You don't want to come to the bottom slime blocks over here. You want to place a temporary block just down here. You want to place a sticky piston facing downwards. You want to place a temporary block to the left of this redstone block, and then a sticky piston facing upwards. You then go ahead and destroy both of these temporary blocks. And you want to do this on the reverse to this row of slime blocks over here. So once again, iron block, sticky piston facing downwards, iron block, sticky piston facing upwards. Destroy both of those, and you move on to over here. So iron block, sticky piston facing downwards, sticky piston facing upwards. So it's going to look like something like that from the back once you're done. So now is when you're going to determine that the height of the elevator is actually going to be, as of course you want to make sure that you get it at the perfect height. So what you can do, you can just go ahead and pillar up to where your elevator is actually going to go to. So let's say I want my bottom floor to be around about this level. Just go ahead and mark that, and you can just go ahead and destroy the rest of these. And there we go, as you can see now it's marked, so now I don't go too high or anything. That would not be fun. So basically you just want to carry on with this pattern going all the way up to around about the height of the elevator is actually going. So as you can see, there is 3 blocks in between these 2 rows of slime blocks. So going to be 3 in between this one. So go up 3, 1, 2, 3. Then here is where you're going to be placing your next 2 slimes, a sticky piston under it, and a sticky piston on top. And you want to go ahead and do the other side. So 1, 2, 3. 2 slime blocks, sticky piston facing downwards. 1, 2, 3. 2 slime blocks, sticky piston, oops, sticky piston facing downwards. 1, 2, 3. 2 slime blocks, sticky piston facing upwards, sticky piston facing downwards. Now you can see what I'm doing. I'm literally just going in an alternating pattern, going from left to right and left to right. And you want to do that until you get to the very top up there. Okay, so I am now roughly at the top, so now what you can go ahead and do is you just want to go ahead and destroy all these temporary iron blocks, as they are not meant to be there. You just want to go ahead and destroy all of these like so. And there we go, so that's all the iron blocks removed, so it should look something like this. Okay, so bear in mind that the actual floor where your elevator is going to stop has to be in line with one of these slime blocks. So it has to be in line with this, so it can't be one above and it can't be one below. It has to be in line with the same level as one of these slime blocks. Now, I really recommend you have the slime block on the right, as honestly, it will just make life so much more easier for you. Okay, so once you have something like this, where the actual floor is in line with your top floor, you want to go ahead and add another one of these. You want to add another one over to this side, like so. You also want to add another one just onto this side, and then that should be it. And there we go, so you can go ahead and just destroy all these iron blocks once again. And now it should be looking something like this, where there's 2 more of these on top of where your actually floor stop. Okay, so now you want to make your way back around to the bottom over here. As you can see, we are on the back. So it's the front where your 2 blocks are over here, and this is the back. And what you need to do, you want to come down to this line block thing over here. You need to place a block below this sticky piston, a block behind it, and you also want to put a block to the right, then up. So it looks something like this. You want to get this sort of block in like so, and you then want to put 2 blocks just on top of this, like so. It looks something like this. And what you need to do is you want to do that to every single one of these floors. You want to go ahead and do it to the next one up. So you want to do it to this one, so 1 here, 1 to the side, and then 2 up here. Ignore the right side for now, just focus on the left. So you want to do this on every one of these floors. So once again, come up 1 here, you want to run to the right, and then 2 on top. So it's just like a bunch of number 7s. And you want to do this going all the way up till you get to the very last one. And there we go, as you can see, all these 7s are done on this side. Now you want to go ahead and switch over to this side. Now what we're going to do is we are going to inverse that. So instead of having like a block here, you want to instead have a block here. So it's sort of like lots of backwards 7s. So you want a block underneath this sticky piston, a block to the behind that, destroy this block, a block up, a block to the left, and then you want to put your 2 blocks here. So where it is on this one, it's like a 7. This one is more like a backwards 7. Once again, you want to do another one up here, so a block below this sticky piston, a block to the left, and then a little roof, like so. So go ahead and just do this on every single one of these floors. And there we go, so now you should end up with lots of like 7s and backwards 7s, so it should look something like this. You don't want to get your redstone dust out, and you want to come to the left hand side. You want to place in 1 redstone dust here, but 2 here. So 1 here, and then 2 on top of these ones. 1 here, 2 on top of these ones. 1 here, 2 on top of these. And just do this until you get to the top. So there we go, it should look something like this. You don't do this to the opposite side, of course, but it is inverse. You want to place your redstone dust here, but 2 here. 1 here, and 2 here, 1 here, and 2 here. Not there. Just do this until you get to the very top. And there we go. So now we're moving on to the more technical part. The actual part that does all of the redstone and does all the timings that. So what you want to do is you want to come right the way down to the bottom over here. You want to place in a block behind this block over here. With a block to the right, you want to put another block just to the left of it, so you have 2 blocks like so. And then on the front block going into this terracotta over here, you want to place a repeater set to 3 ticks, then a repeater set to 1 tick just behind it like so. You then want to place a block in just behind this repeater with some redstone dust on it. You then just put a block over here, a top half flap just like this, and then some redstone dust just like this. You don't want to repeat this to the floor above, so over here you want to put a block here, repeater set to 3 ticks, a redstone repeater, a block up, redstone dust, a block, top half flap, and 2 pieces of redstone. Just do this until you get all the way up to the top. Okay, so there we go, I've just reached the top. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have every repeater timing completely 100%. So make sure that they are all correct, of course, because after you move on in a couple of steps, you will no longer be able to change these. So make sure that they are correct now, as if one singular repeater is off by 1 tick, this thing just won't work. Okay, so now you want to come to the right side over here, and what we're going to do is we're basically just going to do the exact same thing, but instead of it being over here, it's going to be over here. So you want to do, you want to place a block here, a block to the left, destroy this, 2 blocks, repeater set to 3 ticks, repeater set to 1 tick, 2 blocks up, destroy this one, a redstone dust, a block here, and then something like that. So as you can see, it's pretty much the exact same, but in reverse basically. You want to move to the same floor, so 2 blocks, 3 tick, 1 tick, a block behind it, redstone dust, block, redstone dust, half slab, redstone dust. So do this until you get to the very top once again. And there you go, as you can see, I have just finished doing the top. Once again, you just want to go ahead and make sure that all of these repeated timings are completely correct. So come back down to the bottom over here, and what to do is you want to come to this left one, just like so, and you want to put a repeater facing that direction. So from the back it looks like this. You then want to go ahead and place an observer facing upwards just on top of that repeater. You then want to place a block here with another redstone repeater facing away from that block. You then want to place an observer coming away from that repeater and an observer facing upwards. You then want to place a block here and you place the repeaters facing this way, an observer coming away from that repeater, an observer facing upwards. You can sort of see the pattern here, so now you want to do is you want to place a block here, a redstone repeater facing this way, an observer facing upwards. Oops, there we go. There we go. So basically, you just want to keep on doing that until you get to the very top. So for the next one, a block here, redstone repeater facing this way, observer facing away from it, an observer facing upwards. Block here, a redstone repeater facing away from the block, an observer facing away from the repeater, an observer facing upwards. Block, repeater, observer, upwards. Just go ahead and do this until you get to the very last one. And there we go, as you see, it ends up on this observer facing upwards. Now that should be all the floors up connected basically. So now what to do, you want to come to the 3rd repeater down. So that's the first one, that's the second, and that's the 3rd. And you just want to destroy it. So basically that will stop these 3 from firing a course. This is where you want to stop, otherwise you'll end up stopping somewhere up there and you'll bust it through the roof, and that's just no good. So now what you can do is you just want to test it. So when we click this repeater right so, we should be able to see the whole thing coming up, and as you see, it's going up very fast, and what it should do is it should stop in line with this floor. If you've done that correctly, then good job. However, if it doesn't work, then make sure that all the timings are correct. That's the only thing that could be going wrong. Now you want to come back around to the bottom over here, once again coming to left, and what you want to do, if you want to put 2 blocks away from this, a top half slab, and then another block just like so. You don't want to come another block out, 1 block up, so it looks something like this from the left. Get yourself some redstone dust, you want to place in 2 pieces of redstone dust here, a 1 tick repeater here, and then 2 more bits of redstone dust just like so. You then want to place in 3 solid blocks just like so, and then a top half slab up here. You want to put a piece of redstone dust here, you want to put 2 1 tick delays, and then 1 3 tick delay. So it should look something like this. So now you want to repeat this on the floor on top. So as you can see, 2 here, top half slab, 1 behind it, and then 1 more on top. So 2 redstone dust, repeater, 2 redstone dust. 1 2 3, top half slab, redstone dust, 1 tick, 1 tick, 3 tick. And of course, just repeat that until you get to the very top. Okay, and there we go, I have made it to the top. And then once again, you want to go and check every single one of the repeaters just to make sure they all are the exact same times. Of course, if one repeater messes up, they all mess up. And by the looks of things, I have done something wrong. There we go, as you can see, I made a mistake there, so even I can make mistakes. So yeah, just double check, make sure that everything is correct. So you want to do is you want to move over to the other side, and you want to exactly replicate what you just did. So basically you want to come out 2 blocks here, top half slab, top block, another block like so. 2 redstone dust, 1 tick delay repeater, 2 redstone dust. 1 2 3, top half slab, redstone dust, 1 tick delay, 1 tick delay, 3 tick delay. So it looks something like this. You want to go ahead and build this to the other side. No, not the side of the floor. So 2 solid, top half slab, 2 blocks, 1 block up, destroy this block. 2 redstone dust, 1 tick, 2 redstone dust, 1 2 3, top half slab, redstone, 1 1 and 3. Just go ahead and repeat this until you get to the very top. And there we go, I've made it to the top. So once again, just go and double check that every single one of the repeated timings is correct, and what I do believe it is. Okay, so it should be looking something like this from the very back. Okay, so you want to make your way to the very top like so. What you want to do is you want to place a block on top of this, and then a block just to the left, and then 3 blocks just like so. Then you want to place in a 1 tick, and then a 1 tick, and then a 2 tick just in the middle like so. You don't want to come 2 blocks underneath, destroy this block like so. You want to put another 2 blocks and a block up, just something like that. You don't want to put a 1 tick, a 2 tick, and a 1 tick. Now, you should be able to start to see a pattern. So what you need to do is you want to come 2 blocks underneath this, destroy this block, come out 2 ticks, come a block up, 1 tick, 2 tick, 1 tick. Come down 2, destroy this block, come 2 more to the left, a block here, 1 tick, 2 tick, 1 tick. So what you need to do, you don't want to do this until you get to the very last one at the bottom. So let's just do one more. So 2 blocks down, destroy these 2 blocks, 2 to the right, take a block here, 1, 2, and 1. Just go ahead and repeat this until you get to the very last one. And there we go, as you can see, that is the final one. So just go ahead and check all these repeaters. Of course, you are doing a lot of repeater checking, I'm sorry about that. But basically, if one repeater is off, then the whole thing breaks. And to be honest, that would be so sad if that happens. So now you want to come to the very bottom, then you want to come to the left repeater up so this one over here, you want to come up 1, 2, and 3. So this is the 3rd repeater from the bottom, you want to destroy it. So not this one, but you want to destroy this one. So now if we come back up to the top like so, you can destroy these 2 top repeaters as well. You can place in a sticky piston and then on 0 over here, and when you press this, what should happen is this should go all the way back down to the bottom. Let's just press this. As you see, it is making its way downwards, so there's a point where you check to see if you've made any mistakes. And there we go, as you see, it's back and it's in level, of course. So if that's like that, then well done, you are doing great so far. So now what to do, if you want to come to the front for a change, we are going to be doing these safety doors. So what you want to do, you want to place a block away from this top sticky piston like so. You want to place a sticky piston to the right, and you want to place in 2 more just on top of that like so. You don't want to place in your door of choice. I just used netherite. To be honest, I think it looks the best. These things are such a good door block. So now you want to do, you want to come underneath the floor, and you want to place a block just below this redstone block. You want to place in 2 blocks, and then 1 to the right. You want to put redstone dust on all of these like so. You want to come up a block like so, another piece of redstone dust, another block, a redstone torch, a block, and another piece of redstone dust. And now what you want to do, you want to get your side block. So this is this, like for example, I'm using a lodestone, but you just want to make sure that it is not stickable. So if you place a slime block next to it and activate it, the slime block won't stick to it. So anything like terracotta, obsidian, or lodestones will do just fine. I personally chose lodestones as I think they look the best. What you want to do, You want to put a lowstone at the bottom, one at the top, and then you just want to put one to the left, just like so. Then you want to get a regular piston, come round to the back, and you want to place one facing away, just like so. You don't want to place a button just on top of this, so when we press this button, that normal piston in fact would extend. You can also place in 3 blocks just to the left of it, like so. So what you want to do is you come back around to where you can see this piston's face. You want to put a block in front of it, and observer facing downwards, just like so. You can go ahead and destroy this block, and you want to place a block on this observer's face, and you want to place a block just at the bottom, like so. You don't want to make a sort of triangle and destroy this middle block. You don't want to place a comparative facing away from this block and going into this block, just like so, with the redstone dust all along it. You don't want to place a repeater set to 4 ticks, just like so, with a sticky piston in front of it, and then observer facing this direction. So the back is here and it should be facing this way. Now just for a minute you can remove this observer like so, and you want to set this repeater back down to 1 tick. You want to place a block just behind the repeater that when this piston extends it pushes the observer, activating the block which should activate this repeater. So now you can go ahead and place the observer back. And there we go. So now you want to come back around to the front over here. You just want to put 2 blocks in front of this low stone like so. 2 blocks to the left, and you can destroy all these like so. And this is where your core button is going to go. So you want to place it right there. You then want to come to the left, place a block, and a block downwards, destroy the block. And you want to put a rest repeater here. You then want to go ahead and get yourself a sticky piston and face a sticky piston, an observer facing downwards. You destroy these temporary blocks just like so. You don't want to place in 2 blocks just below this observer like so, destroy this block, and you'll place a block just down here with some redstone dust on it, so when we activate this button that redstone dust will flash. You don't put a line of blocks all going into this direction until you get the same line which this repeater is set to 1 tick, and place all the blocks just going into there. You can then run redstone across all of these, but this one is going to be a repeater set to 1 tick. You don't go ahead and place in a line of observers all facing upwards until you get to the very top like so. So you just be able to fit in between here, and there we go. As you see, I am at the top. So you should get it, some observer is just 1 block on top of this redstone dust. So now you can go ahead and destroy this sticky piston observer, and what you want to do, you want to move it 1 block to the left. So instead you can place it here and here, but then you want to place a block just in behind this repeater like so. You don't want to place a block on top of this line of observers. I'm placing a couple blocks just running along here, a redstone repeater coming away, and then 2 pieces of redstone dust just like so. So come back around to the bottom over here. What you do, you want to take this for a test run. So basically you want to hop in and you press this button like so. And what should happen is you should set up, and as you can see it is working in fact. So basically we are being set up to the top. We stop here like so. This thing is going great. So now that we're at the top, basically some of you are going to have these slime block on this side, and some of you are going to have it on the left like what I do. So basically this is going to be determining where your door is going to go. For example, basically I cannot place a block here. So that means my door is going to be on the right over here, but some of you can't place the block there, but you can place it on the left. So if you can do it on the left, then do it there. You don't place a redstone repeater coming away from this block, and it should turn on. So come back around to over here, and what you have to do is put a block just away from the sticky piston, 3 sticky pistons all on top of each other, then get your door block and just put it like so. You don't place a block behind this lower sticky piston over here, with some redstone dust on it just like so. You don't want to come to the top one and place in 2 blocks, a sticky piston facing downwards with a redstone block on it just like so. You can destroy these 2 blocks. So basically you want to put a block just in front of this with a redstone torch on it. It should turn off. You then want to put a block over here with some redstone dust just like so. Okay, so basically the opposite side that your door is on, you want to do the following. So you want to place in 2 of your side blocks on the bottom and at the top. You then want to place 1 in here like so. You can then just go ahead and fill in all of these ones as well. You then want to go ahead and place in a normal piston just to the left with a button on it just like so. So you then want to place a temporary block in front of this piston with an observer facing upwards. You can go ahead and destroy this. You then put a redstone torch, a block on top of that redstone torch, and then repeat, and then another redstone torch. A whole lot of redstone torches. Now it's going to look a little different for you, because if you have the door on the left to the right, but it should be exactly the same. So what you want to do is you want to place a block just like so, with the resting repeater coming away set to 1 tick. You don't put a block in front of that and a block down here. You don't once again make your diamond thing shape and then place a comparator facing away and put redstone dust on both of those. Now you want to put a block just away, repeater set to 4 ticks, and then a block up just like so. Now if you did it on the other side, basically that repeater should be underneath here like so. So if you do it on the side, it should be like that, and that's fine. But if you've done it on the same side as me, what you can do is just get yourself another sticky piston and replace this with a sticky piston and then put an observer coming away into this redstone line. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to place a block here just like so with another button on it just like so. Of course, if it's on the left, then you want to place it here. So basically you want to place a redstone torch on top of that, another block on top of that, then another redstone torch just like so. You then want to place a block on top of that with a redstone repeater coming away from it. And what you want to do is to come back around over here, and basically instead of going upwards, you want to make an observer trail going downwards. So bring it all the way down to the bottom. As you can see, just keep on going, keep on just spamming your button. And there we go, eventually we should make it way to the bottom. Just go ahead and get yourself back up, and there we go. So what you want to do, you want to place a block in front of this, a sticky piston coming away, then an observer just like so, and you place a resting repeater set to 1 tick on top of that. Just like so. Now, if you are on the other side, so basically you just have to invert it. So you would have the button here, you would have the redstone line going up, but instead of the observer facing that direction, it would be facing this way, and the repeater would be facing this way. So just, yeah. But for me, it should be looking something like that. So now let's go back down to the bottom. So basically you want to put a block just below these line observers, you know, all the ones that are facing downwards. You want to put a redstone repeater coming away. You want to put a redstone repeater coming out from that set to 1 tick, a block facing downwards with another piece of redstone dust here. You then place a block to the right of that redstone dust and then repeater facing straight into that comparator. So now we can test this. Now what should happen when we click this is this just send a signal going all the way up, which will then tell this elevator to come down. And there we go, as you can see the elevator is coming down and that door shut, so we can make our way downwards. Just like so. So now let's say we did it the opposite. So let's say we call the elevator from up here. We can call the elevator from up here. And what should happen is that elevator should come upwards. And there we go. I can see it is working. So now that's all left for you to do is to actually decorate it. So to start off, you can just fill in all these side blocks. You can just face these going all the way downwards. Just like so. You can do it all the way downwards just on this side. Once you get to the bottom, then you can just do it on the other way upwards. Just like so. Now you can also place in just blocks in front of these observers like so. You can just go ahead and place in blocks going all the way to the very top. And there we go. Now just make sure not to touch this line blocks when decorating, as if you do that, then it's basically just going to break everything, and that's no good. But basically now it's just left for you to decorate it however you want, as I have done it. That's the tutorial done. Anyway, that's all for me. The tutorial is done. That was a pretty big one. Anyway, I hope you have fun with your new crazy fast realistic elevator. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Please subscribe.